boom! It's your boy Scotty Mac, ladies and gentlemen, and we are back on Your Opinion Doesn't Matter. What a tremendous live show the PWR roster put on for the English fans in O2 Arena last night. Now, we're coming off one of the hottest fallouts in history. Fans, just to remind everybody, this was the first show since Rise to Power 5. And did we or did we not give them what they wanted? We definitely did. But before we get into all the action, let me bring on my co-host to go through all the heart-pounding and thrilling, intense action that took place in London last night. Ladies and gentlemen, he is currently recognized as a Hall of Famer in the class of 2024. He goes by the Postman, T Money. What up, T?
What up? Hey, yo, big shout out to the O2 Arena. It was nothing but love up in there. Yeah.
Speaking of love, did you get some love from some of the fashion stylists over there? I see you got a little different little look here. You picking up on some of the trends overseas? Talk to me.
Had to pick up on a little bit. You know, it's all about diving into the culture with protection.
Emphasize protection. T, as always, I appreciate you for joining me. It is the holiday season. As you can see, your boy's sipping on a little Modelo, to all my Espanol friends out there, my big homies, my carnals, my whoever else enjoys a little Modelo, punishment, whatever, PP, whatever name is.
Man, you gotta get
not
the thing
here
right.
with us because he's enjoying his family. Shout out to everybody that will be enjoying the holiday season with their family. Like T, this show, we're going to have to get through it. I got to get on a jet to Vegas. I got plans, but we're going to go through this thing with as much detail as possible, but still move at a rapid pace because, again, there was so much to go over, T. And, of course, yourself in the main event with your partner, Nappy Boy, defending the tag team championships. But let's get into the announcements first, T. We had a busy week, a couple weeks, I should say, since Rise to Power. Big announcement. And I really want to hear from you personally on this one. Mel motherfucking Walker, for the first time in I don't know how long, specifically asked for a separate locker room from that of T Money, the Postman, and Nappy Boy. What were your thoughts on that before you got to the ring? Is this something you expected based on what Mel Walker's been stating online, or was this a shock to you personally?
I mean, you never go expect that from your brother, but at the same time, I'm done with it, man. Like, not out of no hate. I'm done with it. Like, that's a grown-ass man. He can do whatever he wants to. So that's what he need to get his mind right and all that. Keep focused. Like, I'm never going to stand in his way. Never. So, I mean, it was a shock, a surprise. Yeah, all that. All those.
Was there any difference with, did it feel different with just you and Nap there? Now it's just you two. Obviously, you still have the tag team championships to keep you company. But when you got to the arena and you realized that Mel, the motherfucking legend Walker, would not be doing the traditional backstage, whatever you guys do backstage together, it wasn't the same. How did you adapt? How did you go into your match focused, knowing that this was a sudden change to everybody, really?
Man, forget that. I'm a professional, man. So, I mean, my fam was still there. My partner's still there. He's fam. So, it's not like I was alone. And, even if I was, man, we got a job to do. So, I'm there to work. I ain't there to have a picnic. I ain't there to have drinks or nothing like that. I'm there to work. So, whatever the case may be.
You're not there to have a drink. You're not here to have a drink, you said.
Not at that point. Got business to tend to. We make it hit.
Speaking of business over bullshit, T, I sense that to be the attitude you have right now. Another couple that has to separate business from pleasure. The Queen, Alexia Payne, was making her grand return to PWR in London, and her and her husband, even Aaron King, parted ways at the airport. We were told by TMZ, as the Queen specifically opted to enter the O2 Arena alone. And Aaron King did as well, as he arrived to the arena separately from his wife. What are your thoughts on this, that the Queen has made it clear, and it seems that both of them have come to agreement that they want to keep their careers separate. They love one another, but when it comes to this business, they want to do their own thing. What are your thoughts on that?
No, that's cute. That's cute. Everybody see what happened. Everybody see what happened with it all. That's cute. Now y'all want to be responsible. Look at that. Yeah, whatever. That's cute. growing up, being adults about something. Look at that out there in the world, being somebody, making grown ass moves. Man, get the fuck out of here.
All right, that's T Money's thoughts on Aaron King and Queen arriving separately. Doesn't seem to have much care or pay much attention to it. Something you may be paying attention to because there are rumors you could be a part of this coming next year in 2025. Don't worry, T. It's not Project 2025. It's Wedding
No,
2025. That's right. It's official. The first wedding in PWR history will be taking place live next year on the air at an event to be determined later. We haven't got the dates settled with the fiance and the groom, of course, the groom and bride, I should say. T Money, there's rumors that you may possibly have some part in this wedding. Is that true? Is that just locker room talk? What's going on? Talk to me.
in what wedding? Who getting married? What you talking about?
We're talking about the powerhouse champion Bronx Bomber, and of course his lovely fiance. Unless you're getting married,
Yeah.
somebody else.
Fat Chad. No, go. Let's go back to the Queen and Beast Mode.
Well, I was gonna piggyback to the next topic, which was pretty much speaking of this beautiful couple, they pretty much put it out there this week on social media. It's been trending like crazy. Bomber said as soon as he would cut the camera off that he was gonna take his lovely fiance and do some BUTT sex. I don't want to get removed from YouTube. Any thoughts on the BUTT sex comment or a
We
couple
talking about
engaging in some anal acrobatics?
we talking about them, or we talking about Deadly Alliance? Like, come on, you confusing me here.
We're saying that butt sex could be a deadly alliance.
Yeah, it is deadly. But you know what? No. I'll tell you what. One thing you can guarantee ain't got nothing to do with that wedding right there. That ain't got nothing to do with that at all. If you see me there, you
T,
know what?
it's the holiday season. I don't like you much. You don't like me other than when your check clears. Can we cheers for the PWR universe? For everybody out there watching, let's give them a holiday cheer. There you go. Cheers, money. Happy holidays to you and your family, T. And as always, I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to present to the fans. Your opinion doesn't matter. One more important announcement. The Hall of Fame ceremony, including your induction to the Hall of Fame, is still coming soon. We're trying to lock down a date with everybody involved to make this happen. It will be coming within the next several weeks. T Money, you will be walking and enshrined into the Hall of Fame in the greatest wrestling company of all time. Any quick remarks on that honor?
No, keeping it real though, that is a major honor. Thank everybody involved with that. Thank everybody that showed love, showed out, and showed support. So when that day comes and everybody gets suited and booted, we'll have some special moments. I put it that way. So thank everybody, all the fans, all the people backstage. That's from the heart.
Speaking of special moments, T Money, you lead me into our first matchup of the night because we talked about the big wedding coming up in 2025, not Project 2025, Wedding 2025. I don't want to cite Shooter J because I know he's watching. But the first matchup of the night, T Money, featured the PWR World Heavyweight Champion Big Hurt versus Candice, who indeed is getting married to the powerhouse champion, the Bronx Bomber, next year. T, did I lose you visually here, or did you purposely remove the screen? Postman, T Money, are you there? All right. Anyway, I'm going to carry on, guys. I'm sure the postman will be back soon here in a minute. He's always having that Atlanta, Georgia Wi-Fi issue. What can you do? All right. This first match was one fans were ready for, me included. I was really, really looking forward to see Candice coming back to the PWR ring, first show coming out of Rise to Power, and facing off against none other than the PWR World Heavyweight Champion, Big Hurt. Now, the best man versus Candice was the theme all week long, and it was about to happen live as Candice waited in the ring and the world champion's music hit. You're nobody till somebody kills you by Biggie Smalls, ladies and gentlemen. Look it up. The Notorious B.I.G. All right. Listen, the crowd went crazy at the sight of the PWR World Heavyweight Champion as Big Hurt made a grand entrance, into the O2 Arena, and it exploded at the sight of the North Star. The fans were absolutely losing it. The two were ready to go in this matchup, and it began right off the bat. Candice surprised Hurt early on with a number of agile moves as she capped it off with a great drop kick that set the PWR World Heavyweight Champion reeling backwards. It's going to be a long show, guys. I'm drinking, had a little gummy. I'm on PTO. I'm loving my life. Listen, Candice continued her momentum in this matchup, looking strong early on, connecting on an array of strikes. It seemed that maybe Big Hurt took this match lightly coming in. Candice had Candice had Big Hurt dead to rights at one point in this matchup as she set up for the Carolina Stomp, her big time finisher, when she bounced off the ropes and leaped up high for the move. However, Big Hurt used his brute strength to catch the foot of Candice and tackled her down to the mat. Hurt then bounced off the ropes and nailed a big time splash, connecting on the lifeless body of Candice. He then did the bigger, sexier, as the English faithful loved every bit of the PWR World Heavyweight Champion's antics. God, I love that bigger, sexier. I'm going to try it later, too. Hurt signal for the Fist of the North Star at this point of the matchup. He nailed Candice with the big move as she fell hard to the mat, and he pinned her for the 1, the 2, the 3. The winner of the match, the North Star, or should I say the best man, Big Hurt, who then popped up quickly off of the mat and gestured a sign of respect as he even helped Candice up to her feet and even encouraged the fans to cheer for her. It was a shocking moment, but the fans engaged with Candice. They obliged as Candice brushed herself off and emotionally accepted the gesture of respect from who many regard the best in the world right now. Hurt then exited the ring as he allowed the fans to give Candice her respect. He clapped in her direction and wanted the fans to pour it in. And she had a great performance in this one and definitely has a bright future in PWR. That's when Big Hurt made his way to the back as JTO and motherfucker were exiting their locker room. Hey, we got a bit. Are you with me?
Yeah, man, I'm good. I don't know whether it was still talking about this win or some of this pub food I'm gonna have, but man, some ain't sitting right with me.
Hopefully you feel all right. T, hang in there, drink some fluids here. I'm gonna try to
Yeah,
get through this
I'm
thing
gonna
as
do
quick
that.
as possible. Hurt exited the ring, I said, and he was actually giving the fans the applause so that they could get her going. Great performance by Candice, as we talked about. But as JTO and motherfucker were exiting their locker room, appearing to make their way to the ring for their big matchup, the World Heavyweight Champion stopped in the hallway and wished both Fucker and JTO good luck. But the problem was the monitors and cameras caught this brief interaction between the trio backstage. Meanwhile, the body snatcher Dylan Mason and the Korean Kaiju were watching closely on the monitor as Mason made a grunt. The two then quickly exited the locker room where they then spotted the PWR World Heavyweight Champion coming down the hallway. Mason then tapped the Korean Kaiju on the shoulder and said, "Look at your boy, Quan." Quan then took a deep breath and sprinted full speed in direction of the world champion and sliced him in half with the spear. He then picked up Hurt right away and drove him hard into the pavement with a choke slam as Mason slowly took his time walking up. And that's when the body snatcher said, "Maybe now they will pay attention to us. Let's handle this shit," said Dylan, as the pair then made their way to the ring. That's when we saw medics rushing to the attention to the scene, tending to the world champion Big Hurt. We'll have more information later on the situation regarding the world champion. T, I gotta go to you here. Alley-oop, I need a slam dunk. What are your thoughts? Not only on a great performance by Candice coming out, not quite enough to get the job done against the world champion, but a very impressive performance nonetheless. Him giving her flowers and then calmly going to the back, seeming to just normal gesture to JTO and Fucker, have a great match, go get the job done. And it seems that the body snatcher and specifically the Korean Kaiju didn't take a liking to the world champions input into this one. What are your thoughts, Steve?
I
Wow.
mean, first of all, they shouldn't. Well, let's rewind. I'm not used to this version of the world champ being that damn nice. He's always been to a level of professionally respectful, but being that damn nice. I think even the people in the back, you know who I'm talking about, the body snatcher, the Korean Kaiju. I think they saw that and probably felt the same way. Like, hold on, wait.
Ooh.
We don't like this. If we coming for the top, if we coming for what we got, yo, be the asshole that we know you are. And you know what?
It sounds like you're speaking from experience there. Like you know from experience that when it's time to make a statement, when it's time to be recognized, you go for the top guy.
I put it like this: they're on the radar now, ain't they? You got to
As
do
if they
something,
were
right?
before. Yeah, definitely on the radar now, T. And as you said, motherfucking JTO waited in the ring as the next matchup of the night. We go right into it. The Korean Kaiju and Dylan Mason teaming up for the first time ever, clashing against JTO and motherfucker. This match was one the London fans were drooling over. Hold on, I'm drooling over my blunt. Hold on. Woo!
I was
In
excited
the
about this.
early stages of this contest, JTO came out looking to prove a point as he came out fast in his attack against the body snatcher Dylan Mason. Mason was pinned early on right after a pile driver, but the Korean Kaiju was right there, right on time as Kwansu booted JTO in the head, breaking up the pinfall. JTO tagged in motherfucker as soon as he could, and Mason regained control for his team with a spinning back fist that buckled motherfucker in his tracks. Dylan Mason nailed a Pele kick on fucker, and then he went for a pin attempt, but JTO returned the earlier favor, nailing Mason in the head with an elbow drop, breaking the pinfall up. This was great tag team action as that blow stunned Mason, and he quickly tagged in the monster known as Kwansu. Fucker gave the fans a stunning show as he threw everything he had at Kwansu, hurting him, and then tagging in JTO quickly as the two double teamed the Giant with kicks and punches. The two then bounced off the ropes and nailed the Korean Kaiju with a double shoulder tackle, bringing the fans to their feet. The fans were going crazy as JTO then quickly tagged fucker back in as the legal man. The two were attempting another double team move, but this time as they bounced off the ropes, the Korean Kaiju extended both his massive arms and grabbed both superstars by the neck and took them both down hard with a devastating choke slam. Kwansu roared at the fans and then quickly tagged in the body snatcher before throwing JTO outside of the ring. Mason locked fucking in the Blood Eagle as he boom nailed it in the middle of the ring. 1, 2, 3. The winners of the match. Help me with it, T. You have good language overseas. I'm working on it still. But either way it goes, it's a scary motherfucking sight. That's the translation for the name of Dylan Mason and Kwansu. And I don't know who in the back is slow enough to take these two guys lightly. But if you are, you better wake up soon or you could be the next one realizing your fate. Now, before I get to you, T, after the match, we saw cameras now panning backstage again and medics were stabilizing Big Hurt on a gurney and putting him into an ambulance. So this is much more severe than I initially hoped or thought. We'll get more on Big Hurt as we hear from him. I'm waiting on updates from the doctors, but it's not good as we look from this direction. T-Money, share your thoughts on this.
Yeah, mate. It's clear that the combination of Dylan Mason and along with the Korean Kaiju, there are a couple of wicked pissers.
Yeah. Body snatcher. You know how they go over there. They was going crazy for us all week long.
Hey, the fans was different. That's what it matters. That's what matters. The fans received it well, but yeah, I really hope Big Hurt is recovering very quickly, because I can't say okay. You can't be okay after that. But at the same time, them putting on that show against that tag team with two people that's known each other for that long, who are clearly on the same page more times than not, yo, I did not see that coming. Not that way.
Were you shocked with the domination of the Body Snatcher and Quan Su? Is that what you're referring to?
I can't say shocked because of who they are, but at the same time, the way that it ended, my gosh, that's a problem. That's a problem, mate.
All right, mate. Well, let's continue with the next problem of the night, our next match. That features two guys you're huge fans of. I'm talking about Chris Lassiter, the former Powerhouse champion, and the Redeemer, T.C. Adams. And real quick, before we get into this match, oh, you do believe. Before we get into this match, I want to talk about the fanfare for T.C. Adams all week long, because the lines for this guy's autograph signing went all the way around the O2 Arena. And I'm not exaggerating, T. You saw it. The roster was talking about it. This guy has really captivated the wrestling universe. Forget PWR. The wrestling fans all over the world, for whatever federation you love, know about TC Adams, and they're on board.
That's exactly what I was getting at. Like, yo, this dude don't miss. He worldwide. Like, I've seen more fanfare, more appreciation, more adulation for this guy than I've seen for someone in a long time. And I won't say it's out of nowhere.
You like one of them old saber-toothed tigers. You've been around a while, T.
Yeah, fact. I don't even say convinced of that. But yo, I've seen a lot. He's managed to do the right thing, do something in a unique way. He captured the fans himself with anything dirty or crazy. I ain't gonna lie, I like him. Matter of fact, I started to get in line one time, but how would that make me look?
No, I like this new London stylistic version of T Money. The Mel Walker list better. You know, you're nice. You dress better. You have clothes on today. You know, you might not. All right. Moving into the next matchup, we talked about it. Lassiter versus TC Adams. Fans were glued to the screen for this one as Chris Lassiter waited in the ring for one of the most popular entrances, I would argue, in PWR history at this point. Fans stood on their feet as the music of TC Adams played, as one of the brightest superstars of PWR's future appeared, and the fans went bananas. TC held his hand up and the fans followed him. Finally, TC got in the ring and shook the hand of Chris Lassiter as a sign of respect that both superstars seemed to have between each other all week long on social media. The match began on fire, T, as Lassiter came out with passion and guts, taking advantage early with a flying shoulder tackle that hurt TC Adams badly. Lassiter followed this up with a DDT and a pin attempt, but Lassiter followed this up with a DDT and a pin attempt, but TC Adams kicked out. Of course, fans approved. It didn't take long for Adams to get it going, however, as he soon took the momentum with the nasty suplex, followed this up with a devastating leg drop. He held his hand up to the fans, signaling his finisher, that he was going to go for the Claw of Redemption. Lassiter, however, being the wily vet that he is, sniffed it out and rolled to the outside of the ring to regroup. And as soon as he got to the outside, he pointed at his head, showing that he was on top of TC Adams' game and he wouldn't be outsmarted here in London. Until suddenly a chair shot from behind struck Lassiter down, along with an enormous, gigantic roar of boos. And you know what that meant, T. It was August Stevens attacking Chris Lassiter from behind as TC Adams looked confused in the ring and baffled as to what was taking place and why. The referee quickly started ringing the bell. Then he turned around, I'm talking about TC, and he walked right into a devastating lariat from the prophetic giant I call Bobby G. The bell was ringing over and over and over, and August Stevens threw Chris Lassiter inside of the ring. Black Rock was in the building. They continued the assault on both superstars. I'm talking about Lassiter and TC Adams. The fans were booing Black Rock out of the building and throwing popcorn and debris inside of the ring. The two kept beating down the fan favorites as fans gave them the business until the music of pain and punishment played on the sound system and the arena erupted. August Stevens and Bobby G quickly backpedaled a little bit. They didn't look happy as it seemed as their little London Tea Party, so to speak, was ruined by Joe Mega and Punishment. Now, before we get into the next matchup, which is Pain and Punishment versus Black Rock, it looked like we were on our way to a classic between Chris Lassiter and TC Adams. It was rudely interrupted by another team, and we spoke about this earlier, eager to make a name for themselves in PWR. And what do? They take out two of the more popular guys when it comes to the fans and the universe, top sellers in merch, both of them. They take those two guys out. They're looking to beat them down, but then the music of Pain and Punishment hits. T, before we get into this next tag team matchup, but we have a few great ones tonight. What are your thoughts on that?
I would say I don't know what the hell is wrong with Black Rock, but I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm upset because I wanted to see that match with TC and Chris. I wanted to see that. I wanted to see that. So I understand the fans. I was pissed off too. They should have threw stuff at them. Someone should have threw an unopened beer can at somebody. Like, yo, throw a chair at somebody. But at the same time, I understand they're trying to make an impact. Black Rock, I'm talking about, trying to make an impact, trying to get everyone on board with what they're trying to do. I get that, but damn, why even mess with that match? You could have did it. Your match coming up, do it to your opponents. And I gotta say, never thought I'd be actually happy to see Pain and Punishment come down to the ring, but I was.
Before we get into the next match, I do have a couple text messages on the flip. I'm the only person that has a flip phone that gets text messages, but nonetheless, the flip has given me the latest information that two matches have been signed for next week. One being August Stevens versus Chris Lassiter. Wow. And then you got TC Adams one-on-one with Bobby G. Give me a quick thought on that, T-Money. Explosive two matches there on the next card for PWR as we continue the tour.
I mean, you just answered it. That's explosive right there, especially considering what just happened. That's a must-see, must watch. I don't even know if, could this actually mean that Lassiter and TC have each other's back, possibly? Trying to get a little bit of, get back? Maybe. Don't know. But all I know is it's some strange alliances. Strange alliances going on. But I'm here.
Are you regarding the Deadly Alliance? Are you leading into that, or do you want me to talk about the Deadly Alliance? I mean, usually when you bounce past, I'll catch it. Is that a bounce pass to me about Deadly Alliance, or?
No, that was just an inbound pass.
I'm not familiar with the inbounds plays.
In other words, keep it going.
All right. We're going to keep it going. Pain and Punishment versus Black Rock, another big tag team matchup that fans were looking forward to in London in the O2 Arena. What an explosive show it was. We still have a lot to uncover, T-Money, especially the tag team championships. Why are you so jittery? All right, a massive tag team match was on our hands. Pain and Punishment, of course, we talked about what just took place. They lit up the ring to start this one. I'm talking about Punishment and August Stevens. Both of these guys have a lot of fire in their belly. I think you would agree with me on that, T-Money. August Stevens crushed Punishment with lefts and right hooks as the bell rang. When he threw Hector into the ropes, he was only to be nailed with the slingshot counter from Punishment. He rushed towards Stevens, but was met by a Russian leg sweep from Stevens. And then August bounced off the ropes, crushing Hector with an authentic headbutt. He pinned Hector for the one, but he pressed out of the pin attempt. This match was on fire early. Stevens reached for Puerto Rican Hector, who countered with the headbutt, and then both stars reached to tag the hand of their partners. And they did so, and the building erupted at the sight of Joe Mega inside of the ring, standing across from the massive prophetic
let's go
monster known as Bobby G. The fans started chanting, "This is awesome. This is awesome." That's a lot of men in that ring, T. You got to agree with me. And it
Yeah.
was pandemonium at this point as the fans enjoyed seeing two giants in the ring meeting for the first time. And after the two paced around for a bit, soaking in the crowd noise, they locked up. Bobby G ended up driving Joe Mega to a corner, which is rare, seeing Joe Mega losing the power advantage. And then he exploded with a forceful array of body shots to the Oracle. He then lifted Joe Mega for a German suplex with shock fans. The impact was unreal as he pinned Mega for the 1, the 2, but Punishment dived in, breaking up the pinfall. The fans were loving the action. These two teams were putting on a tag team clinic at this point. August and Punishment began mixing it up on the outside of the ring. August was taken down from a hard elbow shot to the temple from Punishment. That's when Bobby G missed a running clothesline towards Joe Mega, who countered with the big time size 15 to the face. He then dropped Bobby with the belly-to-belly suplex, showing his power as he roared to the sold-out O2 Arena. The crowd stood as Punishment was back on the apron, sticking his hand out, dying to get back into this matchup. Joe Mega tagged him in as he locked Bobby in the Mega Drive, and Punishment skied from high above, spiking the finisher. As Bobby G's head went through the mat, Joe Mega pinned him for the 1, the 2, the 3, the winners of the match. Woo! Doomsday Device did the job. Pain and Punishment getting a big victory here. That's when, after the matchup, a brief celebration, not one really, from Pain and Punishment was shown on camera as they made their way to the back, seeming to want to regroup for what was next. But a little confusion backstage between Bobby G and August Stevens, but it was quickly settled as Reggie Walker came between the two, huddled them up, and reminded the trio what the Black Rock was after in PWR. All minds cool down. You've been a part of these before. I bet you wish you were still a part of one. But T, real quick, my fault. Real quick, can you just elaborate on what it's like when things get a little testy between the group, and then you gotta, hey, chill, motherfuckers. And that's kind of what took place as Black Rock seems to be in good shape. Of course, our next matchup of the night coming up is Reckless Reggie Walker facing off against Pat Legend. We'll get into that, but before that, T-Money, impressive tag team matchup. A lot of bodies flying around, a lot of feeling behind these shots. You felt the blows coming from these guys, that they really meant them. My question to you is, even in defeat, does Black Rock hold their heads down here, or do they continue to do what they've been doing as far as making an impact in PWR? Because as you know more than many, that it's not an overnight hustle here in PWR. Most people that have been champion, most people that have been at the top of the mountain have a higher loss percentage than a winning percentage, and that's just the facts of the matter. What are your thoughts on this explosive tag team matchup? Two teams that you need to worry about, but also what happened in the locker room between Black Rock and Reggie having to cool things off, of all people, the reckless one.
The reckless one is the one is the voice of reason. Yo, he did what he's supposed to do for his boys, though. Ain't that something? But at the same time,
showing the leadership qualities. Showing some leadership qualities here. I like it.
I give them that. But no, they went out. They made the impact they wanted to make. You know, they went out, interrupted the match, showed that they got some power. BG looks very good, especially with his performance against Mega. I mean, they have nothing to hold their head down about. So, I mean, you're still on the radar. It's still on the radar. They got the job accomplished. Reckless Reggie is the one who calms everything down. Like, what the hell? 2025 is going to be amazing.
Wedding 2025. I don't want you to. She might be watching. We gotta whisper to Project 2025 around.
So keep watching.
I'm gonna spark my doobie. Hold on. And we're live, T-Buddy. We're going to get into the next matchup. I already mentioned it. Reckless Reggie Walker, the mind of reason. That doesn't even... Could that catch? I can catch. You know what they say? Scott Mack can make anything catch. Scott Mack can make anything catch. Could I catch it?
Reckless mind to read. Reckless minds, dangerous minds.
Reckless mind.
It's been the most of our lives living in a gangster's paradise. Never mind. Let's go.
Reggie versus Pat Legend. Listen, I don't know about you, but I was excited to see Pat back in the PWR ring. It's been a while. He had some health scares. He's back. He's healthy. He's ready to go. And you, like myself and many in this back, we're looking forward to the return of Pat Legend. And what we were in store for next was a big time clash. However, Reggie Walker was not the person who's the type of person to say, hey, you're going to come back and you're going to establish yourself on me. He is a New Yorker. He is a walker, for crying out loud. Oops. Did I say that around you?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm working on it. I'm not used to it. All right. Walker, Reggie made his way to the ring to a roar of boos. The total opposite of what Pat Legend received when he made his way out to the ring with a standing ovation from the English fans who appreciated the perseverance of a guy like Pat Legend to make his way back to a PWR ring. This match was just as physical as both promised it was be, and it looked to be Legend who showed very little ring rust early on in this one as he overpowered Reggie in this matchup early on, nailing him with a Samoan drop and a knee drop to follow that crushed Reggie in the face. However, Reggie Walker was tough. There's no arguing that fact. And he continued to kick out after numerous pin attempts early from Pat Legend. Pat Legend seemed to be in complete control in this matchup until fans started booing near the ramp area, and it spread like wildfire at the appearance of none other than Hall of Famer, former world champion, the Equalizer, JTO, walked out slowly from Gorilla about halfway down the ramp. Pat Legend was clearly thrown off at the sight of JTO. He was furious, and his expression showed it. Although Legend tried to stay focused, Reggie was able to get his engine going, and he began crushing Pat Legend's chest with some reckless chops. He then scissor kicked the head of Legend, taking him down hard. Walker then made his way up to the top rope and skied off for a reckless elbow as he hooked the legs of Pat Legend for the 1, the 2, the 3, the winner of the match, spoiling the return of Pat Legend, the reckless one, Reggie Walker. And that's when cameras zoomed in on JTO, who clapped his hands, grinning, mocking Pat Legend as he backpedaled to the back. T-Money, I see you have a lot to say. How do we unravel this one?
That's what for what though? JTO and Pat got history. We know that, but why come out at that time? The audience let them know too. The crowd let them know, like, yo, displeased. I was displeased. Like, what's going on here? Seems like everybody just has this goal on this occasion to just screw shit up. And I don't get it.
It's a fuck fest.
Yeah, basically.
That's like that.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know what's in store.
Everybody getting fucked.
Somebody some money. I don't know. But damn, he could have waited. If he had a problem with that man, he could have waited.
What do you think about the reckless elbow? Look at the height. Did you see the height on the replay? That might have been one of the highest. Reggie's getting older in age, but he's I don't know what he's doing in the gym or what he's doing physically with his diet, but he seems to be in some of the best physical condition of his career, getting high elevation on that elbow drop, as we saw in the replay. It was amazing.
Again, he got up like Pat owed him money or something. I don't know.
Like the old T-Buddy used to fly around like that at one point in time. Did I say that? I'm sorry. Happy holidays from the Hendersons, T. What you doing for the holidays? Anything planned?
Hopefully not visiting your residence.
All right, hopefully you're not, because we have to continue with this next matchup. But as I told you, if you visit my residence, I won't be here because I'm getting on a jet right after the show. This next matchup of the night, however, T Money, is for the Powerhouse Championship. That's right. Did you say you signed up to be in the wedding? I heard you earlier say you're available to participate in the project, the wedding 2025.
You struggling a lot with that. Like keep
featuring
on talking
Candace and Bomber. You're going to be a part of
it. I know a merger that's about to happen.
Read your contract. Read your contract. Read your contract. It's a very fine print. All right. The Cardinal Joker J going one-on-one with the Bronx Bomber. We know this is a rematch for what took place at Rise to Power. Very interesting match setup here in London. As you know, anything can happen anytime, any place in PWR. Knows that, the universe does. Fans had a mixed reaction at the arrival of the three-time Powerhouse champion, the Cardinal Joker J. He looked very focused on walking out of the O2 Arena with the Powerhouse Championship that he just came short of grasping at Rise to Power. But then the music of the Powerhouse Champion, the Bronx Bomber. And it was the arrival of the man along with his fiancee Candace as they appeared, and fans had a mixed reaction for both the Bronx Bomber and Candace. The referee took the Powerhouse Championship from the Bronx Bomber and showed the fans what was at stake in this one. The bell rang, Postman, and we were off. Joker J flew into Bronx Bomber with the flying forearm and pinned Bomber quickly for the one, but he kicked out. Joker then nailed a super kick and pinned Bomber again quickly. 1, 2, but he kicked out once again. Fast start to this one. The Cardinal then signaled right off the bat for the Joker's wow. He got a minute. He lifted Bomber and nailed him with the move. But Candace leaped on the apron, and instead of pinning his opponent, Joker J went after her. And of course, she got down before Joker J could get a hold of her. He then went for the pin on Bomber and only got 2 before Bomber kicked out. Candace was at this point hysterical on the outside of the ring, slamming her hands on the ring apron, trying to get her boot thing going. Joker J then yelled out, and I wish we beeped this out, but he said, "Shut up, pendeja!" And I don't know if you know what that means.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if they knew.
Right. It might have slipped through a couple people. He then tried to pick Bomber up, but Bronx threw a shot right at Joker's windpipe, like one of them little street thrusts. I don't know what to call it. He then locked a D-bomb and nailed Joker J in the middle of the ring, pinning him for the 1, the 2, but Joker J kicked out, and the fans were going crazy, Postman. Bomber shoved the referee backwards into a corner. 1, 2, 3, he yelled at the official, but the official disagreed. The Cardinal was slowly getting to his feet when Candace leaped on the ring apron again, getting involved in this one. This time, Joker J actually got a hold of her good, and he wasn't letting go as the fans started going crazy, yelling for Joker to strike her. He was looking at the fans for the approval. He then finally nailed her with a shot as she went down to the outside. Then, however, he took one of his own to the back of the head from the Bronx Bomber, who connected on a double axe handle smash. Woo! He then crumbled Joker J as he picked him up quickly, locked him in another D-bomb. Boom! Hooking both legs. 1, 2, 3. Your winner and still Powerhouse Champion, Bronx Bomber.
We know
Mac still got pipes. T Money. Yeah. Sorry. Okay, I'm live. It comes out. It's natural.
Hey, Paul.
I took a half a gummy before this. I'm drinking. I usually don't drink on the lives. Can I? Happy holidays from the Hendersons. Can a guy live a little bit? T Money. My thoughts. I mean, what are your thoughts? I'm drifting.
Bomber living this out here. Bomber living this best life here, ain't he? Just living this best life up. Got a chick that's throwing up, popping on the ring ropes. You
Butt
know,
sex. Let's start at number one. Butt sex.
oh
You
gosh,
said
but
it. I didn't say it. All right. Shit, I'm staying on track. Go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah. I mean, if that's what they want to do, but I mean, yo,
Wow.
he's living his best life. All I can say, he's living his best life. Yo, Candace is out there. You know what?
Can I drink
You
another?
showing earlier tonight. Why she want to come out there and interrupt some? You know what? Some man,
That's her
man.
man.
That's her
Stand by your
man by your man.
man.
Yep,
Yeah,
you
Tommy
get to
Wynette.
it.
You know business.
I get it. But you know what? There's nothing to be ashamed of. Joker, the odds were stacked against him. Sometimes roll with it. Just got to roll with it sometimes. And he knows that. He's been around long enough.
You know, it's the holiday season, and I'm thankful for a lot of things. T Money. I'm thankful to have you live with me. Considering you're sad right now, I can see it in your face. I can see you going through a lot. And I just want to say I'm thankful for your appearance today.
Thank you. That's mighty kind of you, sir. I'm thankful.
Are you thankful enough so we can get into the next matchup of the night?
That's what we're here for.
Hold on, can I open my drink?
Do you need?
I'm going on to the next one. Where you at? You still on the? We still on the same? What's
I'm
up?
cool.
I agree. Let's wait because I want you to stay with me all the way through. The next matchup of the night, T. One you will be very interested in. The Queen, Alexia Payne, making her grand return to a PWR ring one-on-one versus the Narcissist, a guy who is clearly in his prime, in his bag, doing his thing, looking unstoppable. Who books this stuff? Can I ask you a question? When you saw this on the marquee in London, knowing that the Queen, the symbolic reference of a queen in London is so significant, and you saw the billboard, and you drove in from the airport and you saw Alexia Payne versus the Narcissist. Wow. What were your thoughts, Steve?
No, I've been looking forward to that ever since it was announced. But yeah, I didn't even think about the connection with the Queen, England, all that type of thing. What a way to come back. Not going to front, man. I'm glad to see her back in action. And what better person for her to go out there or go ahead in the first return match that she has than that man, the Narcissist. Like, my gosh, is he narcissistic? Like, what is he on? What is he?
Yeah, there was a TikTok the other day that said that one of his fans said Toa's doo-doo doesn't stink. That's how stuck up the Narcissist is. Like, people really believe that this guy is perfect. And listen, I gotta admit, the Warrior he was the truth, but the Narcissist, oh my God, he's so toxic.
Which is why Queen is the perfect opponent for him right now. Like, she will humble you in many ways. She will humble you.
Yeah, and all week long on social media, these two lit it on fire. It was the one everyone was talking about, the return of the Queen, Alexia Payne, as she returns to the PWR ring to face the Narcissist Toa. Now, for those who don't know, for those of you out here who don't know the history of these two, they have quite the relationship that goes very deep. The Queen's music hit, and you would think that Queen Elizabeth herself was in the arena as the entire PWR universe gave the Queen her flowers with a standing ovation. She tried to keep her emotions in check, but you could just tell that the Queen was moved by the love from the fans as she made her way to the ring. She locked back in, cameras were flashing. It was an amazing sight to see. And then the music of the Deadly Alliance played as both El Guapo, your opponent later, and Shooter J, who wore a shirt that read him in quotations on the front. I don't know if you followed that, but during this week, the Queen constantly referenced Shooter J as him, wouldn't call him by his name. The Queen knew what she was in for in this one, and she didn't seem surprised at all that Toa would have the Deadly Alliance ringside for this contest. The referee gave final instructions to both superstars, and we were off. When this one started, one thing was very clear to myself and everybody watching, and that was the Queen had little or no rust at all, as she seemed even more polished and fluid in the ring as ever. She dominated the first stages of the match with a wonderful mix of power and eloquence, if I can say so myself. A spinning neckbreaker highlighted her early advantage, and she followed this up with a nasty DDT. Toa was in trouble early as she pinned him, but he kicked out at 2. That's when the Queen bounced off the ropes, but El Guapo tripped her up, allowing Toa to nail her with a clothesline. The Narcissist got it going right away with the body slam. Following that up with the leg drop, he quickly pointed to the #1 contenders for your tag team championships coming up later, showing them that this is how you do work. Queen, that's when Toa said to the Queen, the offer still stands. You can still join the alliance, Queen, he said. He drove a European uppercut, nailing the Queen as he signaled for the kill shot. He then ran towards the Queen, who ducked and countered with a back body drop as Toa went up high in the air before crashing hard into the mat. The fans rose as the Queen signaled for off with your head. They were ready for it. Then Shooter J tried to sneak behind the Queen on the apron, but she turned quickly, knowing what he was thinking, and Shooter J just stood still like a statue, almost as if she wouldn't even notice him if he didn't move at all. The fans even got a kick out of this moment. What a spot it was. But during this distraction, however, El Guapo slid a pair of brass knuckles into Toa as he quickly grabbed the weapon on his hand. The referee finally got Shooter down from the ring apron as Toa then nailed the Queen with the brass knuckles right on the forehead. He then quickly put the knuckles in his tights, pinning the Queen for the 1, the 2, the 3, the winner, the Narcissist. The fans booed the Deadly Alliance out of the building as the husband of the Queen, Alexia Payne, Aaron King, watched from the back in anger, but then he remembered that he promised to his wife that he would allow the Queen to go about her own business this time around in PWR. He would not get involved, but this would only anger the only beast that matters as he prepared for his match coming up just in a few moments here against, I'm going to say it in front of you because you're paying attention good, Mel Walker.
Yep. Why would he be mad? I mean, they're being amicable. Yeah, match. Mel Walker, beast mode. Barn burner. Haymakers thrown everywhere. Crowd excited. All that good stuff. Everybody feel good.
Big win for Toa, the Narcissist. Thoughts, T-Money? Does this continue to solidify his run as a top-ranked guy? Let's just face it. He's one of the top-ranked guys right now in PWR. I dare you to argue. Go ahead.
I mean, yeah, I don't see a reason why, like, on the Queen's return, why he felt like that's a. If he did take a L, I don't know why he would feel like that would be a bad thing. You know, the prowess that Queen has. So why you got to get your boys out there? Why you got to do some dirty tactics? Like, yo, it ain't like she was trying to attack your face since you're so narcissistic. So it's all good.
Let's face the facts and face it right as they are. T-Money, what are your thoughts on the performance in her first match in almost over a year? I mean, not to go into too much detail, but, you know, this lady went through labor with the kid, been doing the whole family thing, to come back and just execute as fluid and the way she moved in the ring. What were your thoughts on her performance? And what are you looking forward to next from the Queen?
I mean, it was very impressive. As you said, she came back like she never left. Very impressive. Fluid action, fluid motions, no wasted motion. I mean, traditional Queen style. And like I said, with elegance and grace and still bringing the boom. So, I mean, I don't know. Pretty much every time you talk about Queen, with all due respect, what's next for her? Whatever the hell she wants.
For those fans just tuning in, We did have a development earlier, a vicious attack by Black Rock on the match. Both competitors, Chris Lassiter and TC Adams, both taken out during that match that fans were looking forward to. And now next week we have two matchups set up. TC Adams versus Bobby G 101, as well as August Stevens versus Chris Lassiter. Ooh, I just want to keep the fans posted there. Make sure you pay attention to what's going on around this place because there's a lot happening. And you know, sometimes people they don't see it. They don't recognize that there's action in every matchup. Something can happen anytime, T.
I always got to pay attention.
Keep your eyes peeled. All right. Speaking of keeping your eyes peeled, I wish I could see behind those shades when I announce this next matchup. The next matchup of the night is a one-on-one grudge match between Aaron King, the only beast that fucking matters, versus Mel, the legend Walker. Before we get into this one, during the week, give us the fans watch. They want to get that inside scoop that they're not going to get anywhere else. Be honest with all of us in the PWR universe. What were your thoughts going into this week? Not only having to worry about your own matchup, and we understand your focus on that, but when this matchup was announced, what were you thinking?
I mean, hey, they finally get there, handle it how they want to handle it. One-on-one, you ain't got us to worry about. So, I mean, shoot. Good. I'm glad the match is happening. Them two get to go ahead and do that, get it over with, and be done with it. So, hey, that's all I really cared about. I wasn't really paying attention to all that he say, she say nonsense, that back and forth bull crap. Like, yo, I was just ready for the match. Get it over with. This ain't about Venom. This ain't about the history. It ain't about that. I don't know if people realize that. Let them two go ahead. One person frustrated, the other person off for redemption or something. I don't give a damn anymore. Just go ahead and beat each other senseless and get the hell out of here, man.
I'm getting drunk.
I see.
All right. The next matchup of the night, ladies and gentlemen, is Mel Walker versus Beast Mode. It's finally here. The talking is over. One of the most anticipated matches of 2024 is upon us. Two brothers that are on a collision course. It's inevitable that this match will happen now. The O2 Arena was getting a treat, and they were buzzing at the sight of the only beast that matters, and the entrance of Aaron King made the place explode, T. Beast stormed his way to the ring looking like a machine, like he was all business. No games being played in the expression of Beast in this one, but then the music of Mel Walker hit. And for the first time in a long time, the arena went quiet as Mel Walker's music had changed. It wasn't the intro of the Venom music that we've heard for years and years and years. It was Mel Walker's original soundtrack instead of the Venom music, and fans picked up quickly. Cameras panned to the back, showing the locker room of my co-host, T-Money, and Nappy Boy backstage, noticing the change in the sounds of Mel Walker, and they both shook their heads. Bear with me, Postman. You better not fade on me. I need you now. The fans were confused. The fans were confused about this version of Mel Walker, and they had a mixed reaction of cheers and boos upon his arrival. Finally, both superstars were in the ring, and the bell rang. Beast went right towards Mel Walker like a tank in a war field. He crushed Walker with the spear as Mel grabbed his abdomen in pain. Beast roared at the fans as they roared back. He then lifted Mel Walker up for a German suplex as he crushed the former powerhouse down hard to the mat. He pinned Walker for the one, the two, but Mel got a shoulder up in time before the referee reached the 3 count. The fans were now definitely at this point seeming to be rooting for Mel Walker, which was something none of us expected or were even used to. But Beast was dominating early, and he started talking trash to Mel Walker. How does it feel, Mel, huh? How does it feel? How does this pain feel? As he nailed Walker with the shot that buckled him. You ruined everything, said King. He pinned Mel again for the one, the two, but Mel Walker again fought free as the fans started cheering more and more for the legend. Beast got frustrated with this, yelling at the fans, "This is who y'all want now, huh? This is who y'all want." Wow, Beast really lost control right there.
Are you mad?
What do you mean? What is your thoughts on the emotion here that you're seeing from Aaron King?
Just saying, what you so upset about? Who pissed in your cornflakes? Talking about some it was his fault and he ruined everything, whatever. But you know what? Didn't I say I don't care no more? I'm good. My bad.
Listen, it was all beast mode at this point, and fans were actually shocked, thinking did Mel Walker possibly lose his killer instinct as he broke away from Venom. But then the incredible heart of Mel Walker, the Brooklyn bad boy, was on full display as he kicked out again after another pin attempt from Aaron King. Beast at this point was getting more and more frustrated with the official. He was getting more and more frustrated with Mel Walker. He bounced off the ropes, missing a clothesline when Mel Walker leaped in the air for a deadly super kick that dropped Beast in his tracks. Mel Walker then somehow made it to the top turnbuckle and flew off with a flying headbutt from hell, nailing Beast Mode. Fans stood on their feet as Mel Walker put his arm over Beast's chest for the 1, the 2, but Beast kicked out. Beast kicked out as the fans almost lost their breath, cheering. Oh my God, as you can see the expression on the London faithful. Listen, what a matchup this was. Both superstars had a hard time at this point getting to their feet as Beast rose first. He then signaled for the only knee that matters when he took off and crushed into Mel Walker. He pinned him for the 1, the 2, but Mel Walker kicked out again, and this is awesome. This is awesome. Beast Mode couldn't believe it as camera zoomed into the face of Mel Walker and blood was oozing from the mouth of the former powerhouse champion, who started slowly getting up to his feet, taking his time but struggling with pride and dignity on the line as Beast signaled and pointed for another only knee. But that's when Mel Walker put his hand up with a sign of pure heart and asked Beast to wait till he got to his feet fully. And Mel Walker says, "I want to go out like a man on my own too. If you're going to do it, Beast, do it now." Beast had a moment of conflict. It was a moment that I rarely see in the PWR ring, as I didn't know if he was really going to do it or not. But it didn't take long for Aaron King to explode into Mel Walker with another only knee that took Mel down hard. 1, 2, 3. The winner of the match, the only Beast that apparently matters, Aaron King, with the big victory. What a tremendous match that was, a tremendous story. And now a chapter is closed, hopefully for good. Let's close the book. Let's end the chapter between these two. What a match, T-Money, an emotional roller coaster of a matchup. What did you think as the London fans were treated to a classic here between Aaron King and Mel Walker? What a fighting spirit from that dog, Mel Walker. Wow.
I mean, Beast acting like an American hero and stuff like that right now, but he doing some outlandish, wild stuff, just over the top with it. And then like this new leaf that Mel Walker has turned over. I mean, I wasn't expecting that. Like he pretty much sacrificed himself, just told him to go and get it. Like I don't know. I mean, is this chapter closed? But the book ain't closed. I mean, maybe that chapter. I don't know. I don't know. I ain't got time, man. I got stuff to worry about.
What you have to worry about? The main event of the night.
Getting back home.
Postman, I want to make sure we talk about, and we don't take away, I should say, this big victory for Aaron King, Beast. You can say whatever you want. You can say he was conflict. You can say he shouldn't have taken out his brother the way he did viciously. But the man got a big, big win here that's going to propel him, I don't know to where, but it's a big victory. Nonetheless, we cannot take that away from Aaron King.
Yeah, he's on a mission. I get that. He's on a mission. You know, I mean, congratulations. Whatever. Congratulations. You just took a next step forward to whatever the hell you're trying to get to. I'm pretty sure you're trying to get to the world title. So one step forward. Congratulations, motherfucker. I mean,
He's not
that's it.
motherfucker. He's Aaron King. He's Aaron King. T Money Postman, real quick, while I take a couple puffs before we get to the main event, how jittery were you before the main event, and how jittery are you at this very moment?
I mean, jittery. What's there to be jittery about? I mean, we've done this time and time again. Ain't nothing jittery. Like I was excited to be in the O2. I ain't gonna lie. I was excited. It was like the name of the building says. O2 was like the oxygen was just heavy and thick. So I mean, it wasn't jittery. It was more so
What was
like
the last time you went into a match as an underdog? Been a while. Huh?
we were the underdog.
No, I said, what was the last? No, you were not that. You were heavy favorites.
Oh goodness! I mean, what the hell you mean
I
by
said,
that?
what was the last time you went into a match that you guys would have been an underdog? You and Dappy Boy.
Probably that fight I got into in second grade, but
that was a long time ago. All right, Postman, we're here. I know you're ready. It's the main event of the night. The tag team championships were on the line. The Deadly Alliance, the number one contenders, clashing against my co-host, the Postman, T Money, and his tag team partner, Nappy Boy, the true villain from Venom. Listen, the fans of London had already been treated to an incredible show thus far, and now the main event will cap off a historic evening, to say the least. The music of the challengers, the Deadly Alliance, echoed on the sound system, and fans booed them out of the building.
rightfully so.
And El Guapo and Shooter J were making their way out to the ring. Shooter and Whopper were chomping at the opportunity to get gold in PWR, but they had to go through what has been known as the most dominating tag team, arguably in PWR history. The question will remain, would the cracks in what was left of Venom be what was needed to walk out of London as champions? Coming into this one on FanDuel, they were huge underdogs, talking about Deadly Alliance. It was going to take something close to a miracle, many believed, for Venom to be knocked off here live. The challengers waited in the ring as the music of Venom still sent a chill through myself and many other fans in attendance's spine as Nappy and the Postman T-Money appeared on the ramp, looking to be on the same page and ready to continue on the historic tag run that they've been on. The Postman and Nappy Boy both discussed last-minute strategies on the way to the ring, and it didn't appear they were affected at all by the previous matchup. T and Nappy Boy handed over the tag team championships, and the referee held both championships up for all to see. It was Nappy Boy and El Guapo who would start off in this red hot main event matchup. The bell rang and we were off. Nappy Boy came out establishing himself right away as he laid a big haymaker to the skull of El Guapo, staggering him into a corner. Then the villain whipped Guapo into the turnbuckle chest first, and then he finished him off with a clothesline to the back of the head as fans oohed and ahed at the brutality of Nappy Boy. He then quickly turned to the Postman and tagged him in. The Postman leaped into the ring athletically and nailed a nasty dropkick on El Guapo, sending him back down hard to the mat. He pinned Guapo for the one, the two, but Shooter J dived in, breaking up the pinfall. The crowd got more and more into this one as it went on. The energy picked up in the building. T Money drilled an uppercut to El Guapo, who was desperately at this point trying to get his partner in the matchup. T Money swung Guapo for a neck breaker and then tagged Nappy back in while holding the arm up of El Guapo. Nappy placed the shot perfectly right on the kidney areas of El Guapo. He went down hard again, and this time Nappy Boy followed him down with the double axe handle smash and a pin attempt for one, but Guapo pressed out. What a matchup this was. Nappy looked at the referee and just gazed in frustration, but he quickly got Guapo to his feet and slapped his face across disrespectfully. "You guys will never be on our level," yelled Nappy Boy before running towards the ropes and bouncing off towards El Guapo. But El Guapo had other plans in his mind as Nappy went towards him. He popped Nappy up in the air using his strength right into a pop-up power bomb. Boom! As the fans exploded, and both superstars now were down and out as Shooter J was stomping his feet on the apron, trying to get Guapo to tag him into this matchup. The crowd exploded as Shooter finally got in the match, getting the tag, and he went wild on Nappy Boy with kicks to the ribs and punches to the face. Shooter J then crushed T right off the ring apron. He got Nappy, locking him in the midnight run, Boom! Dropping him right in the middle of the ring for the 1, the 2, but Nappy Boy kicked out. Nappy Boy kicked out of the midnight run, and Shooter started shaking in the ring like he was having a seizure. He couldn't believe it, stomping his hands and kicking on the mat, yelling at the official. What a moment it was, as then he went to pick Nappy Boy up, but the villain of Venom kicked a low blow to Shooter, who dropped down hard to the mat. Nappy Boy dived to tag the hand of the Postman, who drilled Shooter with a broad kick. That's got to be it, as he hooked the legs for the 1, the 2, but El Guapo broke it up before 3. El Guapo broke it up before 3 as the match continued. The O2 Arena was shaking, and you could feel it, T-Money. I know you could feel it because you were part of it. T-Money threw Guapo to the outside and started kicking away at Shooter J. He then tagged Nappy back in. Nap time, said Postman, who wanted Nappy to deliver a natural nap. The fans started clamoring as the Power Surge champion, the narcissist, then sprinted full speed like Usain Bolt down to ringside. The fans didn't know what to make of it as Toa quickly ran to the corner of El Guapo, and then he leaped on the apron just as the Postman was being ordered out of the ring by the official. He dropped Shooter, but the ref was trying to get Toa off the ring apron. Guapo, meanwhile, nailed T-Money with the Power Surge Championship from behind. Finally, Toa got down off the ring apron as the referee threw him away from ringside, and the fans started exploding as Toa had to leave the ring. This was crazy as the fans were going crazy. Nappy pinned Shooter for the 1, the 2, but Shooter kicked out. Shooter kicked out of it as this match continued. PWR chants were going through the entire arena. We're trending on every social media platform at this point. Nappy Boy picked up Shooter and bounced off the ropes, but Shooter J pushed Nappy right towards the extended boot of El Guapo, who was hanging his foot out the side of the ropes. Nappy Boy's head hit it right on the boot. Shooter then tagged Guapo in. He locked Nappy in the El Drapo. Boom! El Drapo in the middle of the ring as he hooked the legs. The fans stood. 1, 2, 3, the winners of the match. I said the winners of the match, T, and new PWR Tag Team Champions, the Deadly Alliance. Oh my God, what did we just witness? What did we just witness? One of the biggest upsets in PWR history. Postman, what are your thoughts on losing your tag team championships in London? I'm losing my voice. I'm losing my mind. Postman, give me something. Woo! And new tag team champions. Wow! What a matchup. T, where you going? Hello? Ladies and gentlemen, oh my God. Oh my God. New tag team champions, the Deadly Alliance, as Toa waited on the ramp, joining the tag team champions, Wapo, and Mr. AK Shooter J. Pyro exploded from the O2 Arena. Wait a minute. Did I just say Mr. AK Shooter J is the champion here? Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Scott Mack. We'll see you on the next show. Motherfucker, I can't believe this. Are you kidding me?